Number 10. Gears of War 4. Microsoft's third-person slaughterhouse shooter returned with all its muscle-bound glory. Going to war against a new batch of monsters, Gears of War 4 put us in the shoes of the snarky smart-aleck J.D. Phoenix as he leads a cast of lovable characters in an enthralling, if tad short campaign. And for the fans of the original trilogy of Gears games, fear not, as resident badass and JD's dad, Marcus Phoenix, returns, this time serving a role similar to what Solid Snake did in Metal Gear Solid 2. With tight responsive controls and mouth-watering weaponry, this game is third-person shooting action the way it's supposed to be. Not to mention its bread and butter online multiplayer. With tons of different modes and its solid connection, this game delivers hours of solid, competitive fun for noobs and experts alike. Gear up for this one, and give them hell.
Number 9. Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is the game that the first one really should have been. While the first was segregated to just Xbox owners, this one was made available to a more wider audience. But if the sales figures have anything to say about it, we just might not get a third installment to the series. Which, gotta be honest, is kind of unfortunate, because Titanfall 2 does deliver a fun gaming experience. Like its predecessor, you take control of a pilot in first-person mode, and you have a ton of abilities at your command. The level design is utilized very well, allowing you to traverse with speed and agility as you fire away with your array of weapons. Just as entertaining are the large mechs you can navigate. Gundam fans are we, so beating the crap out of enemies with your giant exoskeletons is always a delight in our book. Along with its marvelous online multiplayer, Titanfall 2 is definitely worth the price of admission. Number 8. Pokémon Sun and Moon. You know, 2016 was a really good year for Pokémon. Of course, there was the whole summer hype with Pokémon Go, but in the fall we got another fine addition on the Nintendo 3DS with Pokémon Sun and Moon. The tried and true formula returns here. You're a young, aspiring Pokémon trainer traveling through a Hawaii-style land facing gym leaders and taking on evil criminal organizations. Sound familiar? Well, it may be, but it's still top-notch. Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know? It features a well-put-together story with entertaining characters. The core Pokémon gameplay is still here, along with some new twists, like the island challenges. Speaking of islands, the tropical setting is used to full effect to give this game a very fresh experience. And of course, there's a great variety of classic and new Pokémon to capture, train, and battle with. It's a fun journey of Pokémon players of all types as it honors the past while moving things forward into the future.
Number 7. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Sci-fi is a great way to deal with heavy subjects like capitalism, racism, politics, etc. And in the capsule of a video game, it can allow you to deal with these subjects with kick-ass augmented body parts. Mankind Divided continues the story of human revolution, following scruffy loner Adam Jensen, while he does his best Christian Bale impression. Along with the typical weaponry that is commonplace for first-person shooters, there's also nifty powers like concussion blasts, scatter missiles, and our personal favorite, stealth camo. Always useful. The game focuses on stealth, hacking, and investigating as you navigate an interesting story that is heightened by its characters and cyberpunk setting. Along with the main plot, the game also includes fun side missions and plenty of customization. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided is a sharp and slick ride that the fans of the series will be proud of.
Number 6. Inside. In the middle of this year, this independent scene released this little dark gem of a title. Inside is a puzzle platformer where you control a young boy trying to navigate his way through a very dystopian future, where everything, and I do mean everything, wants to kill him dead. Unnerving and enthralling, this game dumps you into this dark shadow world without any dialogue or exposition, except for what you come to find out on your own as you look on your surroundings, along with some traps and situations that are going to test your gamer ingenuity. The game is pretty short, like beat it in 2 hours kind of short, but it's also a game that will make you think and hypothesize about what the hell you just played, and what the game was trying to tell you. especially after that WTF ending. It's rare when you find a game so simple, yet complex, which goes for its narrative and look. This game is truly a haunting experience.
Number 5. Dark Souls 3. Damn, this game is hard. Like, really hard. Well, duh, right? I mean, it is Dark Souls. Another entry in this franchise, started by Demon's Souls, continues its simple objective, to beat the piss out of you. This third-person role-playing game does give you some tools to use, such as different classes, weapons, and magic, and then it's off you go. This is classic old-school gaming here. Just your skills and your wits as you face off against foes that have a distinct advantage over you. And this game reminds you very quickly that it's designed to kill you over and over and over. Steeped in a dark atmosphere, this game can become a demoralizing experience, especially for newcomers. However, there is a real sense of accomplishment when you defeat a boss and then charge forth to the next challenge. For Dark Souls fans, this game is great at what it does. Now let's never speak of it again.
Number 4. Final Fantasy 15. Oh, here comes the controversy. When it comes to Final Fantasy, we're pretty much damned if we do and damned if we don't. And after the first demo, Deus, we did have lowered expectations. But we had to try it out anyway. I mean, it's still Final Fantasy after all. And lo and behold, this game gave us a very fun JRPG experience. Following a fun boy band cast led by Noctis, this game featured a huge open world filled with fantastical beasts. It's pretty much what No Man's Sky was trying to be. The game also features a great combat system that, for us anyway, managed to scratch that Kingdom Hearts itch. The game's story does have its fair share of issues, but the good in this game far outweighed the bad. And as usual, the game is downright gorgeous to look at. I mean, par for the course when it comes to Square Enix. This game may not have been a complete return to form, but it was honestly a solid step in the right direction. More of this is okay by us.
Number 3. Doom. Some things just never get old. Like slaying demons from hell, for example. Doom Guy returned to doing what he does best. Armed with fantastic weaponry, from simple shotguns to laser cannons, and of course the classic BFG 9000, not to mention that nifty chainsaw. Awesome. You go from large arena areas dealing damage to hordes of beasts, along the way collecting health drops and ammos that were dropped off after doing those wonderful glory kills. Doom Guy may be our favorite protagonist of the year, which is surprising for someone who never says a word. But with each of his expressions and actions, you can feel his disgust and anger for the hellish monsters and the corrupt allies that he's forced to work with. The multiplayer is fun, but the single-player campaign alone is more than enough fun to keep us coming back for more. Blood and guts never looked so good. Number 2. Battlefield 1. Battlefield has kind of been the younger brother to Call of Duty, and admittedly, we never had much interest in the series before. And then they decided to take the series from the modern or near future realm into World War I. And it was genius. A single-player campaign that delivers multiple stories outlining one of the most tragic events in human history. This game throws you into the trench warfare, lumbering tanks, and airplane battles. Battlefield 1 offers a captivating experience using weapons from 100 years ago rather than 100 years in the future. This first-person shooter truly outshined the others, with its emotional storytelling, fun gameplay, and beautiful sound and visual design, to say nothing about its outstanding online multiplayer, heightened by the Operations mode, a marathon that will test your skills the right way. Battlefield 1 is a quality title, as well as an historic one. Before we give you our choice for the best game of 2016, here are some honorable mentions.
Number 1. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. For the longest time, we felt that Nathan Drake was just a poor man's version of Lara Croft, as he was pretty much just doing what she had been doing for years. But once we jumped into the series, we admit we became huge fans, as Mr. Drake was able to carve out his own legacy. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is the final ride for this charming scamp, as he helps out his long-lost brother, finds hidden treasures, battles nefarious enemies while dealing with a married life. This game closes the door on Drake's adventures in a very satisfying way. The story and characters are as enjoyable as they ever have been, with gameplay and action similar to previous titles, but with a few tricks added in to keep things, fresh. Fun treasure hunting, clever puzzle solving, and action-packed gunplay are all there. This game was a great conclusion to Mr. Drake's adventures, and for us, the best video game of the year. Well, there you guys have it. That has been the top 20 games of 2016. It has been quite a year. Not exactly for the best, but there were a few good things sprinkled in here and there. But that just encourages us to make 2017 a better year. So be sure to join us when that year strikes, because we have a whole bunch of new ideas and a whole bunch of new videos coming along. Don't we, Gene?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so until then, have a happy holiday. Do whatever you need to do, and we will see you next year.